and you more than likely have not hit any of your goals. You more than likely have not hit any of your goals or worked toward them, or maybe you did for the first couple weeks. Hi, Hallie, how are you? And you're like, is this going to be another year where I just don't figure, I can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out. I'm here to tell you what to do. I'm going to give you a solution on exactly what to do. So the problem is that, okay, so it's already been a month. January's already gone. So we already see how fast this year is going, you guys. Like the Super Bowl, I believe, is coming up this weekend. I mean, it's like Valentine's Day's coming up. We just had the Grammy. I live in LA, so we just had the Grammys. Like it is, the year is moving, and your goals not being met are not going to stop for, like, the year's not going to stop for anyone. So your goals not being met, it all has to do with how you're actually going to structure the goals and make them fit within your life. And this is the kicker. It's not even necessarily that you aren't hitting them or you can't do them or they're not realistic or they're not, maybe it's like, well, do I even deserve these? Like, what's my problem? It's the fact that you have goals to begin with. What does that even mean, right? Like, what is, like, Ciana's not making sense. What is she talking about? Goals don't work, in my opinion. This is completely my opinion. But I think if you were to change your framework, this is what worked for me, so I'm just sharing it. Because I feel like each year that I spend more time on the planet, I'm learning what works and what doesn't, right? And I'm a student of life, so there's going to be millions of things that I continue to learn and continue to expand in. But I feel like I finally have touched what it means to actually get results in something that you want, something that you desire. And so I was really pondering with myself. I was like, what is it? It's starting to get hot right here, guys. I was like, what is it? I'm going to put on one. My shoulder was like cooking up. I was like, what is it that I'm doing to like actually figure out, like, okay, I said I was going to do that. That's done. I said I was going to accomplish that. That was accomplished. Okay, I said I was going to maintain that. That was maintained. Like, so I was like, what was that? What am I doing? And it really has to do with not goals. Yes, there are goals, but what it's really called is inputs and outputs. That's it. So, of course, it can get very layered and detailed within the input output, but all it is are inputs and outputs. So what do you want your output to be? Instead of a goal, don't think about, oh, my goal is to start my business. My goal is to get the body of my dreams. My goal is to get a wife. My goal is to get a husband. My goal is to whatever. My goal is to get a promotion at work. Instead of, and this, again, this is what's working for me. And I really feel like if you start to adopt this, I feel like it can work for you. And okay, so there's a couple things. I was taking a course on this because I love learning about like why people do what they do and why they don't do what they are supposed to do. And I just love like learning about the human inside and out, right? Like the mental, the physical. That's why I think I love like the mindfulness and the fitness. I just love learning about that. So I was taking a course and it was all about inputs and outputs. That's how a lot of these major companies like Apple, Google, these major companies, that's how they hit their goals, right? So thank you so much. So I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that that's what I was kind of doing indirectly, but it was more structured the way I was learning it in this course. And then Myron Golden, if you want to just like get your life delivered, like if you just want to get your life up leveled real quick, you need to binge on Myron Golden. I've been watching him for a year now. I'm obsessed with everything that he says. He reminds me of like one of like an uncle that I would have or something that just drops golden nuggets. Like literally his name is Myron Golden. So check him out on YouTube. But he had a couple videos, a couple podcasts talking about inputs and outputs. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, so this is, I feel like the universe is talking to me like, okay, I think I'm getting it. If you, whatever output you want, so if you want a better body or your version of a better body, if you want to make more money, if you want to start an investing account, if you want to stop a bad habit, right? It's just a series of decisions. That's really all that it is. So sometimes we're like, well, we got to get to the goal. But when we think about the goal, we amplify it so much in our mind that as time keeps going on, the goalpost keeps moving backwards too, right? Like we're never really getting closer to it. Of course, not in all aspects, but say if you're really trying to start something completely new that you've never had an experience with, you're going to have to like really reshape and restructure the way that you do things or think about things or your habits every day, right? So it's just a series of inputs and outputs. That's really all that it is. So if you want, so we'll just use the example of wanting to get a better body. My mom is 63. You guys know I am her personal trainer. I'm her mindset coach and personal training coach with fitness and nutrition. And so she wanted to lose a couple pounds. Well, she's always, this year, our goal is for my mom to lose 20 pounds for 2024. Or I actually said 24 pounds for 2024. That's our goal. And my mom, she's 6'1". She's 240 pounds, around 240 pounds. She fluctuates between 240, 245. She's 6'1". So, that's going to look different on her. It's not like she's, she's carrying it well, very well. But, she can afford to get some of the pounds off for her health. And we lost 40 pounds. So she used to be 280, almost, even like years ago, she was almost closer to 300. So she was able to lose the 40 pounds with things that I helped her implement in her life. So now we're like, okay, the next 24 pounds are going to be like, now we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, we got to start to do some extra stuff. Because, when you start losing weight, it kind of starts to get a little bit, it's like, if you're obese, it's easy to lose like that first 30, 40, 50, because it's like, it has to do with like water weight, just a couple little changes and you lose that fast. But then when you really start to like penetrate like deeper layers of fat, you have to do more. So my mom has been excellent with several different areas, right? And our goal is for her to lose, the output is 24 pounds off. A loss of 24 pounds, a shredding of 24 pounds. So what's that going to take? A bunch of inputs of actions, right? It's going to take a decision to not eat sweets at night. It's going to take an input of of healthier stuff. It's going to take an input of taking her multivitamin. It's going to take an input of her inputting more water into her body. It's, so there's a series of inputs. And so the biggest thing I've been trying to help my mom do is not have a ton of carbs at night. She loves her rice. She deserves her rice. It's fine. But if we want to get to the next level and really get that 24 pounds off, we have to do something a little different for a while, right? To, shake the body up and kind of, wake the body up. And plus, we're more sedentary at night, right? So she doesn't need the carbs. She doesn't need the rice. That's why I don't eat carbs at night. What am I really doing? Like, unless I'm going to go like run a marathon, or maybe like there's no reason for me to have a big bowl of rice at, 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. And then I'm just sitting the rest of the night. Okay. So I was like, okay, mom, let's just do this. Let's do a little bit longer of intermittent fasting and just no carbs at night. Meaning like no starches, no bread, no pasta, no rice, no potatoes. But I said at lunch, you can have whatever starch you want. If you want to have your bread, if you want to have your bagel, if you want to have all that. But at night, you only can have some kind of protein or some kind of vegetable. That's it. So she was like, oh, kind of like I don't really want to do that. Da, 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 da. And so I've been kind of trying to encourage her to do that for a while. So what happened is there's an event that she's going to be at that's coming up. She was like, okay, I got this outfit. So she got an outfit, she put it on. Well, it's an outfit she already had, but she just hadn't like worn it. And so she's like, oh yeah, I have an outfit. It's going to be perfect for this thing that I need to be at. So she puts on the outfit and it's like super snug. It's super snug. And she was like, whoa, this is a wake up call. So she had bought it when she was like a little bit, because there was a time period where my mom got like, she like shot down to like maybe like 230, I believe. I'm assuming, I mean, she just was a lot, like she would like shot down for like a month or two, and then she kind of like hovered back up to like 240, 245. And so, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to, like, this is going to really unlock something for you, because this unlocked something for my mom. And I'm like, whoa, it's like, it seems like the pounds are just falling off. So, and this, you could apply this to really anything with input to outputs, input to outputs. That's it. Don't think of a goal. Just think, what's the output that I want? And these are the inputs. Like this is the coding that I'm going to put into the final web develop, like the website that I want to see. You want to see this website? You put in the code. Like, that's it. So she tried on the outfit. She was like, whoa, this is a wake up call. And okay. So she like went from kind of like not really that excited about like wanting to, not really eating carbs and things like that at night. And then she all of a sudden was just like, I'm not going to eat till noon. I'm drinking more water. The water wasn't, she drinks like, she's pretty good at her drinking water, but she was like, I'm going to make sure to stay on top of that. And no carbs at night. And so I was like, I was really sitting back and I was like, okay, what changed? Obviously she tried on the pants, right? So that like woke her up. But like, what about the pants like clicked? Like, what made the brain go, oh, okay, I'm going to actually decide to make the change? Like, even though I know I need to do it, that's the right move for me to do. That's the healthier move for me to do at my age and my size. But like, nah. But then she tried on the pants and they were super snug. And she was like, whoa. So I was really like analyzing and pondering on like how I can help you guys with this scenario, because she just made the switch in the last 3 weeks. She's just like, I'm like, Mom, like your pants look like they're loose. Like her face looks, I mean, she already has like a really nice chiseled, beautiful face, but like her face looks even like a little bit thinner. I can always tell her arms are thinning out. And I was just like, it went from being difficult and like, to like, nope. At nighttime, she's like, nope. And it's like, so, but you were just craving it the day before, but then today you're like, you could teach a master class on like saying no to the carbs. So like, what shifted in the head? And what I want to tell you is that there's things in life, and they're different for all of us, but there's things in life that will really wake you up when you actually want to make the change. And so for my mom, she had an output of wanting to be a little bit thinner for this event. When she tried on the pants, the input that she realized that she was going to have to do to get that, because you're not going to be able to get that output with the same inputs, right? Like that's simple. Like I feel like you could teach that to like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. And so, but oftentimes, even though it's so simple, we still make it more difficult than it has to be. We still fall into the cravings. We still fall into the lack of like getting the correct amount of sleep. We still fall into over drinking, overeating, over sugaring, all these things. So I was like, Mom, what was it? Like, was it just that you, like, I asked her, I was like, what was it that you just saw that? And she's like, I really want to lose some weight before this event. And that was a reality check. And so my question to you is, what's going to be your reality check for 2024? What's your reality check for 2024? It's different for everybody, but what is your reality check? I want you to so what's your version of trying on the pants that are too snug, right? What's your version of that? Is it opening up your bank account and seeing what you're buying, and you're like, I don't even need to buy that. I've been to Taco Bell 3 times in the last 3 days. Like, what am I doing? I've been to Starbucks 5 times and I'm complaining about not being able to pay off my credit card debt. I've been at the happy hour. I'm spending $150 at happy hour, but then I complain that I never have money to travel. Like, what is your trying your the too snug of pants on for you? Is it looking into your space? Is your car dirty? Is your room dirty? Is your bathroom dirty? Is it like, I want to be an organized person, I want to be a more, I want to have more systems in place, but your environment's a mess, right? So like, what is the trying on the snug pants that like, so the trying on the snug pants that's what woke my mom up. And please like the video, like the video, like the video as you guys are coming in. It really, really, really truly pushes this out to who needs to see this. And this is going to be unlocking. This is going to be a key for somebody that needs to wake up for 2024. 2024 might not be your year. It might not be your year. It might not be your shining star year, but it might be your year to set yourself up for your shining star year, right? So, and that's okay. I almost feel like I'm kind of in a year where, okay, let me just to premise it. It's our year every year. We're alive and we should be thankful and grateful to God. That's the most high, number one. But number two is some years they're different seasons for different things. And some years are harvest years and some years are sowing years. And so I kind of feel like I'm in between, like reaping some of my harvest, but also continuing to sow. And like, I love it. That's okay. And like, you might be in that same position too, where it's like, okay, you know what? I've really lacked being able to stick to what I say I'm going to do. I really lack being able to stick to my goals. And so if you are lacking, this might be the year where you just restructure your life. So this is why I believe I got promoted really quickly when I was a district manager at 25, 26 years old, over 7 different locations in LA for this company at such a young age. And when I look back, I think it's just because I was good at implementing the systems that they taught us the systems, but I was maximizing them. So, you might need to set up yourself for success, right? It might be a year where it's like, okay, let me start with one drawer, right? Get that perfected, get that cleaned out, get it set up exactly. And then for the next week, I'm going to maintain that drawer. And then the next week comes. Now you that one's already perfect. That one's already 100%. Now you go to the second drawer, right? Clean that out, make that perfect. Then for the next week, you maintain both. Then the next thing. So what is the purging and the maintenance and the structuring of a system that you need to do? What are the inputs and outputs that you need to do to literally automatically, damn near like effortlessly just get the result? Like, it's kind of like, this was an interesting example, but I loved to dance still. And I loved to dance when I was younger. I tried out for the cheerleading team and didn't make it the first time. And I wasn't surprised because everybody had been a cheerleader. Like, long story short, I moved to this new city. Everyone had been a cheerleader since they were 7 in this particular program. I was new at 14 years old coming into this program. So I was like, well, I'm like, I don't care. I see myself as a cheerleader. That's it. I don't care. So every day, so when I did not make it, every day for the whole year, my whole freshman year, I would go into this one part of the house, the house I grew up in, and practice. The only result was going to be that I was going to make it the next year. And not only did I make it the next year, I ended up being better than the girls that had been cheering for years. And the next year, my junior year, so that was sophomore year I made it. Junior year, I made it too. I ended up being asked to be captain. And then the next year I ended up making it on like an all-star city team. Like, so my input from that year, it only could breed the results of like making a cheerleading team and doing that. So that's like the first example that comes to my head. It's like, okay, really, Ciana, you use cheerleading, but I only could have. It wasn't like, my goal is to like get on the cheerleading team, but then I'm not doing any inputs. And then all I do is wait till the next year to try out again. And then I'm like, well, damn, I didn't make it again. Well, what was your inputs that whole time? So you might be at the stage now where it's like, okay, let me slow down and restructure how I think about goals and think about things as an input. You want an investing account, but you don't know how? The first input is going online and figuring out how to either take a course on how to do it or teaching yourself. If you want to start a business, Literally Google how to start a business. Oh my gosh, I wish I had the link. There's literally a Google. I think you could even type it in on YouTube. You could, oh gosh, what is it called? I have it somewhere in like, I have like a file of like cool resources that I discovered, but basically Google itself, Google gives out free courses for stuff. And one of the courses is like an 8-hour course on how to build a business. Like I think if you type in Google course, Google free course on how to start a business, it'll probably come up. And the resources are out there. We just live in the information. You could type in ChatGPT, Bard, how to start a business, right? That's an input, right? So if you just keep doing each input, you guys, I have a trademark. I've trademarked my business name. I didn't know how to do that. I was like, my goal is to have it trademarked, but like I was so lost. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm tripping. Like, what am I going to do? I didn't freak out. I wasn't like, oh, okay, this is a goal. Like it's so amplified, right? I just was like, okay, I want my business name to be trademarked. How do I do that? So how do I do that? How do you have it? Like, how do you create a trademark? How do you trademark something? That's where I started. I ended up, I'm going to do a whole nother video on like, if you ever want to do that on like what I did. Cause I was on the phone with the trademark people for 8 hours. Like, I know they were like, here's this number again. Here's Ciana again. Hi, what's your question? I didn't care how dumb the question was. I didn't care how silly it was, but I was putting in a bunch of inputs, right? At the very end of it, I have my trademarked business name. And it's just such a cool accomplishment. And yeah, it was a goal, right? Like that was a goal, but it was really an output of like my inputs. I think when I was thinking about it, like, oh, my goal is to do this, it kind of just seems like overwhelming and like you kind of get anxiety and it's like, but it's just like, okay, well, let me just do the very next step. So like my mom, back to that example, she was like, well, I need to lose 12 to, about 7 pounds, 8 pounds before this event. So the input is X, Y, and Z. I only can lose the weight. Like it's kind of like the cool way that life works. Like it's only going to breed the result when you put the input in. Now, the timing of it might, sometimes we might be impatient with the time, but like eventually it's going to happen, right? So even for me with this YouTube channel, I had 6 subscribers for 9 years. I now have like 3,100. I love all of my 3,100 subscribers. I could have, been like, and I wasn't really doing a lot of input during that time. So of course I'm only going to have 6 subscribers. So as soon as I started putting in input, even though it's just most of my videos are in the car, I put in input. Now I'm getting some output, right? Like I'm getting people that want to tap in, hear what I have to say, because it's going to help you evolve or elevate or just change your mind on something or just help motivate you, or just, it might be nice just to kind of see someone going through figuring out life, along with you, right? Like it's, we're all in this together. So let me just read what you said. So it says, I just realized that I'm 13 pounds lighter than I was December 24th. Yay. Thank God. But I'm like, what would I be if I constantly tried to work on my weight instead of falling off over and over again? I feel you. That's where I'm at, actually. I'm always wanting, I'm always like down to the very last, like 4 stubborn pounds. And then I'm like, I'm happy with how I look, like I'm happy with myself, but I'm like, I'm so close, so like I could step it up. So I feel you. I'm right there with you. Like, I'm like, okay, let me step it up. So actually I'm on my way to the gym right now. I'm actually parked in front of the gym. And so, it's one of those things where like, if you just do the input, the fall off kind of like won't happen. I'm noticing, at least for me, because I've created a structure to put an input in, meaning like make a decision, do some effort. And then the output is that, whatever my output is, right? So like, I want to get back leaner. So I'm starting to get leaner again than I was like 8 months ago. And it's just because I've just implemented the same things I was doing to get leaner to begin with. So I feel like structures and systems that we can play within. So like, it's like, okay, we'll even use this. Like we have like, this is the structure, but then you can like play within this, like, right? Like you can play within this structure. So see how it's open right here? It's almost like this is the structure. And then like, if you were to put water in here, the stream of water was just doing whatever it was doing. It's like, but this is the structure. With no structure, the water would just like, if I put this upside down, like if I poured water on, I'm not going to do that. That would suck. I'd be so bad because I love these. But like if I poured water in this, the water would be within this structure that I just took out, right? It would be right here. But if I just went like this, I would just have a puddle of water and it would just be a mess. So I feel like structures and systems made up of inputs and outputs get you a result. That's it. Then the fall offs, they're not as, that you don't fall off as much. You don't fall off as easy. We're not perfect, right? So it's just going to inch you closer to where you want to be, right? It's going to get you a little bit closer, a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more focused, a little bit more concentrated. We might fall back a little bit, but we're still like going that way, right? So that's what I wanted to get on here and say. I was like, Mom, you really like have you just switched your brain. Like just arguably 8 hours ago, you were like fighting me tooth and nail on not wanting to, you know, cut back on some decisions. And then she just woke up because she tried on those pants and that were too tight. So what is your too tightness? What is your pants that are like, whoa, I got to lose this weight? You know, is it your bank account? Is it your attitude? Is it your well-being? Is it your self-care? Is it the way that people are like, you know, whenever you're around people, you just feel like you don't have healthy interactions. Well, that probably has something to do with you, honestly. Right? Like if everyone's always getting into it with you all the time, maybe there's something that you could be doing to that your energy that you're giving off, right? Maybe you're in a funk. Maybe you're, you know, going through a tough time, a tough season. So it's not even really that like people don't like you. It's just you're giving off this energy. So, you know, what's your tight pants? That's the gist of this whole thing. Okay. So I'm really proud of my mom. I'm like, it checked me. And like when she just literally snapped, she's like, nope. And she just did it for 3 weeks straight, 3 weeks straight now. No rice at night, none of it. And she's like, you know what? Even after the event, I think I'm going to continue. I think I'm going to continue because this input of these decisions are getting me my results. So that's really it. So definitely also too, guys, I'm obsessed with these. I know I've been talking about these a lot. You can definitely get these. I'm going to have these linked down in my description. Also in the pinned comments, I'm going to have these. These are just the coolest headsets. I don't like this thing that goes into, this is the other headset that I've been, that most of us always use, right? Where is it? I just pulled it out on accident. Did I put it back in here? Did it fall? Where'd it go? Y'all know what I'm talking about though. It's like, it's the headsets that go into your ear. I don't like that. So I've been rocking with these. These are my go-to. I have them in black. I also ordered them in white. So tap in. They don't go inside. That's gonna annoy me. Where I just pulled them out. Like where did they? And they sync up really, really quickly too. Maybe I put it back in here. I don't know, not important. So, oh, you can hear? Oh, I don't want to get a flag from YouTube. Okay. So yeah, they don't go in your ear. So you're going to want to tap in with these. All right. So that's really it, everyone. I hope you guys have a gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful rest of your day. And inputs, outputs, that make it easy, make it simple, make it flow. Life just becomes easier when you have a structure and then you get to play within the structure. Okay. You get to play within the riverbed or whatever, right? Like you get to play within the formation or you'll just have a mess. Okay. You know, eventually you guys, I'm going to get like a whiteboard and start like really like, because sometimes I feel like I want to depict what I'm trying to explain. And then sometimes the way I explain it, I'm like, oh, that was okay. But I feel like I could do a better job just like drawing it out with my stick figures. So stay tuned. I might have a couple whiteboard videos coming up, but I would love to hear what you guys want, what else you guys want to know, what else you guys want to know about fitness, mindfulness, things that I've just done that have worked for me, things that I'm still learning, I'm still growing into. I'm happy to, we're on the journey together, but there's a couple areas I feel like I've done a really great job at, which is emotional intelligence, mindfulness, habit building, fitness, things like that. I would definitely say I'm on the higher end of intermediate when it comes to fitness. I did get trained by a master trainer for 8 complete months of intense, hot outside, and I have all the videos. Like my video, there's a few playlists, but the one that people seem to be enjoying is the one where I'm not talking because I'm not like talking a mile a minute. It's just over music, and you can just see all my workouts that I was doing with the master trainer in the hot burning LA sun with bugs and stuff getting on me and biting on me. And there's even a couple videos, bloopers that I have of like literally those big June bugs. Like I was literally lifting weights and a June bug flew right here and got caught in my hair, and I had this weight on, and I was just like, oh, like, oh my God. And I like threw the weight down. I could have really hurt myself or the trainer, but anyways, so yeah, tap in. I believe the playlist I titled it No Words Workouts, full body workouts, no words. So tap in with that. And make sure to follow, make sure to like, send my page, my video, all my videos to anyone that can benefit, anyone that you feel like will resonate. Most of my page really resonates with individuals that are 18 years old all the way to 55 years old that are mainly women. So if you feel like there's someone that just needs to hear a word from another woman, so I will, I'm going to go ahead and get it in at the gym now. So that's it, guys.